and welcome to Rangers Radio. Joining me on the show tonight is Southside and Bridgeman. Good evening, chaps. How are you both?
How you doing, Jaffa? Good to be on, and the Bridgeman. Good evening, everyone listening in this evening.
It's marvellous to be on. Good evening to everyone. It's really, really nice to be on Jaffa and Southside. I can't be with two more stalwarts, two bigger stalwarts. Nice to be with. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, lads, another busy week in the life of Rangers Football Club. Great game on Tuesday night. Result was 2-2, obviously, between two good teams where we went hammer and tongs at it. What was your thoughts on the game, Southside?
On reflection, Jaffa, I thought 2 each was probably a fair result. I thought the two teams went at it. Disappointed that we couldn't have held on to a 2-1 or even increased it. But looking at the way the game went, mate, if I'm honest, it's another step, another level up above. Again, we're playing against a team, and they're a good team. They play good football, attacking football, quick passing, and I thought we competed well. I thought it was a game of spells, mate. First 15 minutes we looked nervous. I thought then we took a bit of control of the game and then we lost a sloppy goal. But apart from that, mate, we scored a decent goal for open play and then we lost 2 sloppy set pieces.
Yeah, our goal was tremendous. It was so well worked, wasn't it? What was your thoughts, Bridge? What did you take away from the game?
I think much like Southside said, the timing of it all, and first a bit nervous starting up, and then we started to get our foot in the pedal and move along. And I thought we had a remarkable game against them. They are a fantastic team, first class players and big, tall, burly players, not scared to put the foot in, and they could do it. They knew all the professional tricks of time wasting and he's kicked me and all that nonsense, and the usual wonderful methods of wasting time. They're really good at it. The Rangers overcame all of that. Thought that we were 1 each, if you follow what I mean, and then when we scored that sort of long range effect, just before that, I think it was Tom. God, what's his name again? Tom, the new guy. Lawrence. Was it him that had the shot? No, it was Malik, whatever his name is. He had a shot, quite a weak shot, and that goalkeeper couldn't handle it, and it spilled out his hands, and that looked like a good thing, because it's similar to when Lawrence took the shot. Must have been 35 yards, maybe slightly more, and he hit it.
Probably about that.
Yeah, bounced just around about the 12 yards, and my goodness gracious, increased speed twice, and the goalkeeper couldn't handle it. He just couldn't handle it, no matter what he did.
And on a night like that, Bridge, on Tuesday night, with the underfoot conditions being so slippery, that was the right move by a mile.
Great. It was a great decision by the player to have that shot, a fantastic shot. And it looked innocuous until it took that bounce, and then you thought, this keeper's down there, he's going to save that. Oh no, he hasn't. And I'm sitting up in the Courtland at the opposite end watching that, and we just couldn't believe it. We just could not believe he spilled it. But he'd spilled the one a couple of minutes earlier from Tillman. That's it, Malik Tillman. So there you go. It was there for everybody to see. A lot of folk think the goalkeeper made a march it. But the weather had a part to play, and the pace of the ball and the way the boy hit it had another part to play. So well done to Rangers on that. I really liked that.
And Southside, you could see the quality up front they had in that boy De Jong, Luke De Jong, who was at Barcelona last year. Obviously, he was as cute. He was as cute as I've seen at Ibrox for a long time. The nudging, just before balls were coming into the box, and I mean, he was a handful in the night, wasn't he?
I thought he was maybe a handful. The second half, I thought first half, Jaffa, we kept him sort of relatively quiet.
Yeah.
But they had spells in the game the same as we did, and they've got good technical players. I mean, most Dutch players are good technically, and they were good in midfield, strong, physical. Kent's good. He was good in spells, but couple of times when they got level with him, they were putting their body in between them and taking the ball off him. It was just the physicality at times when they got level with him. I thought we competed well. De Jong out-jumps a lot of players. We've seen how good he is in the air, and I thought Sands done relatively well against him, although he's playing on the left side of the defence. I thought he won a lot of tackles in that, and he done well against them. I thought in midfield...
I thought James Sands had a great game, I have to say, in my own opinion. I thought overall, we done very well, and obviously you two lads saw it similar when we thought 2-2 was a fair result.
It's fair, Jaffa, just because the quality of the team. I mean, we'd love to have got a 2-1 or a 3-1, but we've got to realise it wasn't a Union we're playing in this game, but it's PSV Eindhoven, and you've seen the money they've spent, the way they've recruited. They've got a good unit, they've got good players, and on the night we were decent for spells. I thought we had a spell 20 minutes and then they come back into it, and then second half they started, we didn't look great. They had a good spell in the game, and then we got the part and we get that goal, and then I thought that's it, we might be able to change it, we might be able to get another one here, but unfortunately we lose a goal at a set piece for the second time. So, but no, we're still in the tie. Aye, we'll go there next Tuesday, mate, and there'll be head-em scared moments, but we can still go there and win. We can certainly go there and score, and that's the way I see it. But it'll need to be a 11-man performance next Tuesday night. We can't carry 2 passengers next week. And here, the pressure's on them now. They've came to Ibrox and managed to score 2 and go away with a draw. So the pressure's on them, and it's down to us to withstand bits of pressure, but to impose ourselves on them, and hopefully next Tuesday we'll do that, Jaffa.
Absolutely, Southside. I mean, I see the game very similar in the way you saw it. I think 2-2 was probably a fair result on the night, but I still think we're very much in the tie. And obviously moving to that game next week, Bridgeman, it will take an 11-man performance to actually get the result. There's no two ways about it. But I don't see any reason why we can't do that. I mean, we've done it before, and we just need to do the same again. Next week is a massive game as well.
Well, yeah, of course, and there may be different players available. It gives this manager a chance to start with another team, and that which will sort of baffle them a wee bit. Because some of the players weren't so great in Tuesday night, but I'm not criticising anyone. I think I thought we played very, very well, and I think some different players on the park at times may have made it even better for us, but it didn't happen. And as long as we didn't get beat, I think most Rangers fans are happy we didn't lose. If we'd lost, then that's a different ball game, different set of circumstances. But we're going over there and get the ties level, and we need to go and show ourselves for what we are. And I obviously don't know what the manager's going to do, but I tell you what, he's going to have to come up with a good plan and improve on what he did on Tuesday night, play-wise, just improve on that. And if he can do that, then we're in for a good shout.
And the other big call from... Sorry, Bridge. Sorry.
Go carry on.
The other big call from Tuesday night was the VAR incident Southside. I don't know how you saw it. I saw it as a penalty. I was right behind it in the Copeland. I don't know what your thoughts on it were.
I never get a great view of it. A few boys round about me were saying straight away handball, and obviously after that you were just waiting on VAR, mate. But obviously nothing happened. I haven't seen anything back the instant again, so I can't comment. I have heard a couple of people on the show saying it was a handball, but there might be a new rule interpretation. I don't know, Jaffa.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Southside. It's a new rule this season, I believe. It's down to the t-shirt level, the sort of shirt line. If they're wearing short sleeves, it's down to that level. So if the ball's above that, it's not a handball. And that's exactly what it was.
So we lost out by a shadow.
Well, to all intents and purposes, yeah. In our opinion, and everybody in the stadium's opinion, that was 100% handball. And even he, under the old rules, it was a handball. But apparently under the new rules, and VAR noticed it and told the referee, and you saw the referee going over to Gio and going like that. I was up there, it's above the sleeve line, baby, that kind of thing. And that was disappointing. Considering the sort of penalty was given against Golson over in Belgium. So that was in our eyes, that was a stonewall penalty, and we never got. Poor Golson was penalised and got booked. It was never a penalty in his life, never a penalty. However, that's the way the cookie crumbles. So we need to, obviously, given the manager's team, whatever team he puts out, we're going to have to go there and show them that we're not stupid. And the 2-each draw was they were lucky to get a draw, as well as we were, So I thought, very even game.
So that's we'll park that up temporarily until next week, and I'm sure we'll get back to the Champions League qualifier when it comes back round. But we've got a big game at the weekend, lads. Tomorrow takes us over to Easter Road. So I'm sure you guys would like to hear from our manager, Giovanni van Bronckhorst, who has done his presser today.
It's, I think a very exciting game for us, and an away ground, and a team who, makes it really hard for us to play. I think we've seen that in the past as well. So, a good game for us again, and looking forward to the game.
Given that this game is sandwiched in between 2 European games, does that bring its own issues in terms of maybe utilising the squad?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a period we are used of, playing a lot of games with big games in the league, between European games. We've had it last season. Now we have the same. So I think we have a good squad to cope with these games, and so we will be ready for tomorrow.
You have to make sure that you don't make too many changes so you keep that momentum going.
Is it? Yeah. It's good.
I'm saying
you're a coach as well.
Well, no, I'm just saying, is that the case? You tell me.
No, it's obviously you want to every game you play. I think now, because we play already Tuesday, Wednesday, it gives you a little bit more time to prepare for the weekend. Of course, when you play Thursday and Sunday, it's always 2 days in between. And now we have 1 day extra, which gives us also more rest for my players. And but you're right, you always have to make sure you see how your team is doing, the players physically and mentally, and take the 11 from from that position.
A lot of changes at Hibernian over the summer. Do you expect anything different from them?
Yeah, they have new players coming in, new coach, so new style of playing. So we've seen them, the first games they played in the league. So we have quite a good view on their style. So we're gonna prepare as normal and make sure we are ready for everything they throw at us.
Your captain James Tavernier has just signed a new contract. How good is that?
Well, it's very pleasing, of course. We all see what he brings to the team. He's played here for so many years, and continue to play for us, which is I think a good sign. He's our captain, and he leads by example. So I'm really happy that he extended his contract.
Any developments in terms of the other ones who you're looking to tie down? I know when we spoke in Portugal, you said the guys who maybe only got a year to go, you're wanting to get those discussions ongoing quickly.
Yeah, well, they're still ongoing. I mean, no news yet in development, so just have to wait and see if it's eventually coming to new contracts.
In terms of Antonio Cholak, he's got 4 goals in 4 games now. How pleased have you been with the way he's settled in and the way he's performing?
I'm very pleased. I mean, it's obviously a good start for him. I think he settled in really quick and well into his new teammates and at the club, and he's giving us goals, important goals. So you always want that from your strikers, and he's doing that. So I'm really happy with his performances. I think all the new players, they settled in really well and quick. They all attribute to the play we want to have. So we just have to continue developing them and make sure their performances will become stronger and stronger.
What does it do for competition now, given if there is only that one place up front, then what does that do? The fact he's doing well, does that put the onus on everyone else to make sure the level goes even further up?
Well, of course, I think that we have a squad now and we can pick so many players to start games. that's the kind of competition you want. As I said, we have a lot of competition, also different strengths and qualities up front. And when the competition is high, I think that the level goes up as well. That's what you want when you play for big teams and big clubs. So I think we achieved that with the squad we have this season.
Do you foresee any more ins and outs before the end of the window?
Well, I mean, it's transfer window. You're never sure, but we have to be prepared. Especially when you come in the latter stages of the window. Crazy things will happen. I've seen it everywhere and over the last windows as well. So I think it's more important to be prepared. But so far, nothing's happening with ins and outs.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, lads, that was good to hear from our manager, and obviously putting Luke Shanley in place, telling him that he was now a coach, obviously, as well. So moving forward to the Hibs game, Southside, what's your thoughts for tomorrow?
I think it'll be a hard game, mate, as usual at Easter Road. But in saying that, it's usually as hard as you want to make it. I think it'll be a battle. You've got to go out and win your battles. But I'm expecting a Rangers victory tomorrow, mate, if I'm honest. I think Hibs have been a bit no great in the first 3 games. I can't remember their first game, but I know Livingston turned them over and they got a draw with Hearts. So being a derby, you can't take much out of that. Most teams usually raise their game for that, but they've got a lot of new players in their squad, Jaffa. Likewise, we've got a few new additions, but I fully expect the Rangers win tomorrow, mate, to be honest. I think we've certainly got enough to put Hibs to the sword.
And obviously it'll be a changed team against Bridge as well tomorrow. I've no doubt we'll see some personnel changes in the squad and rotating it. And we one eye on the game on Wednesday night, I think, over in Holland. So it's just how many changes he makes, isn't it? And how what sort of team he puts out on Easter Road.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, I 100% agree with Southside there. In my opinion, it doesn't matter which team Rangers put out. Hibs aren't in any best good form or anything like that. They're not playing as good as we remember to be playing. However, they are now up against the Rangers, so something seems to happen with them and other teams as well. Most of the other teams in the league, they raise their game dramatically against the Rangers. But we shouldn't have any fears at all against any team in the league, particularly the way the Hibs are playing. We should be able to go there, no matter what team our manager puts out, because we've got good quality throughout the squad, and he should be able to put a team out there that should take care of Hibs. That's my honest opinion. I really do think that's what will happen.
As far as up front goes, Southside, do you think there'd be any possibility Morelos would start tomorrow?
No, I don't think he will, mate. I think there might be possibly maybe 2 or 3 changes to the team tomorrow, but I don't think Alfie will be one of them, to be honest.
I thought it was quite notable on Tuesday night as well that he didn't get any game time. Obviously, Dio was asked about that, I think, after the game, but I'm not quite sure what his thoughts on that were, and why Alfie never get game time on Tuesday. Maybe just didn't feel it was right on the night.
I did expect him to come on, if I'm honest. Could be that if he doesn't sign a contract and we don't think we're going to move him, maybe if we've got to sell him, there'll be a club looking to play him in Europe, maybe we didn't stick him on. I don't know. But
possible.
It's always possible, isn't it? But I think I was surprised that he didn't actually put him on Jaffa, if I'm honest. But I don't see him starting tomorrow.
Can I come in on that? I tell you now, in all honesty, I think they did the right thing and no played him, because the pace in that game was tremendous. The ball was going very, very fast across the ground, and all it needed was a wee mishap with Alfie, and it really made to look a bit off, And I'm pleased they never played in those conditions. I know he's a fantastic player, and I rate him one of the best players at Ibrox, without a doubt. I think he's one of the best players we've had, and an absolute talisman for us. But that last Tuesday night was not the night to be playing Alfie when he's no fit. There's other days. Tomorrow, should be playing tomorrow, 100%. 100%. Play tomorrow.
I think we've been joined by our Bobja. How are you doing, Bobja? Oh, are you there, Bobja?
No. No, Jaffa. Reg, did you say you think that Alfie will come in and play tomorrow?
I think he's got a better chance to play tomorrow. And he needs competition. He needs 90 minutes under his belt at the league level at least. And I don't know whether he's ready for 90 minutes. I have to be perfectly honest. But I'd love to see him getting played. He's come on. He's scored a goal. He's done not too bad the times he's came on. But you just watch him and you just know he's not quite ready yet. I don't know how long it's going to be until he's ready. But whatever injury he had, it's taken a lot out of him. And no matter how much training and how much practices, he's not going to get fit until he plays football. And playing football is going to be difficult for him. And I understand that. However, tomorrow's an opportunity for him to go and put his boots on and see how he does. Even if you take him off at half time, if he's not doing too well. But I'll get a sneak suspicion that's what he's going to do. I've been wrong in the past, of course.
I think we now have Bobja. Hello, Bobja. How are you?
Hello, how you doing, everybody? All right?
Oh, bad, pal. How's yourself?
Oh, not too bad, mate. Just back for holiday, so there you go.
Where you, Burnt Island?
No, I was doing my daughters in London. Burnt Island's all right, by the way, on a broad day. It's as good as anywhere.
I know.
Chips are a bit dear, but it's not too bad. If you understand the accent of the woman and the size of them, it's all right. Tomorrow, Easter Road, I'm just expecting a usual performance for this lot with a 4 times a year job like the rest of them. Because let's face it, and let's be brutally honest, they all hate the Rangers and try a year and a half faster. I'm always saying that and I believe that. So we've got to be prepared for this tomorrow, right into them. And Ryan Poach's running about try hurt folk. He's been sent off 3 times against us, and I'm sure you will have noticed that. So let's get the sleeves rolled up, Rangers, tomorrow. A lot of new boys. That's about the hubdom of Scottish football. We maybe new to them, Tillman, etc., Lawrence and that. But Gio will have them up for it, and we should win tomorrow. So let's go for it. I'm going 2-0 Rangers.
2-0 Rangers tomorrow.
I think so.
What's your team? What sort of team would you think would be put out tomorrow, Bob Ger? Who would you have tomorrow on your team?
Well, that's a difficult question because we've got this huge tie in Wednesday. It can maybe, I'm not going to say make or break your season, no, but it's worth a lot of money to the club, as you know. And by the way, when you're on the subject, PSV Eindhoven, they're near Real Madrid, they're near AC Milan, they're near Manchester City. We can do this on Wednesday night. It's only half time. I'm going to be the community here and all the little people saying to me, Rangers are out. No, they're not. No, we're a long shot. Number right, Rangers are up. We can do this on Wednesday. But the Morris team, the usual thing, along the usual lines, McLaughlin, the newly signed Tavernier, Golson, when he gets the centre of his defence sorted out. This big man if he's fit, and Barisic. And I don't know, midfield Jack. Maybe I'd put Arfield in the Mora. And I'm not sure. Stevie Davis, it's no again for him, the Mora. And Tillman. And the front three, I would maybe go with Kolach, of course. I'd maybe take a chance on Alfie. And the boy, what's his name again? The coloured fella. See, my memory is getting worse, boys. I'm getting old. Or Scott Wright. There you go.
I bet that would be too up front. I don't think he'll start with Alfie, Bob Ger, but I think he might come on for some minutes certainly later on in the game. But I think Kolak will definitely be on the front line. That's for sure. Southside, I don't see him starting with Morelos tomorrow. Blue Star, is that yourself in?
It is, Jaffa. How you doing, Bridge and Southside? Jaffa, just what you are talking about for the team tomorrow. As I said the last couple of nights, our manager, basically when he changes it, when we've got a European game coming up, he very rarely ever plays certain ones 2 games in a row. So for me tomorrow, I think he'll start with Ben Davies, because I don't see him starting with him on Wednesday night. On the other hand, if he starts with Sands tomorrow, then I'm 100% sure he's bringing Ben Davies in on Wednesday night, but I don't think he'll do that. I think there's a chance you might see the Turkish lad tomorrow, and he'll keep Barisic fresh for Wednesday night. Midfield, he has never played Davies or Jack 2 games in the trot. So we're playing Davies, and I think we would all agree Davies played well on Tuesday night against PSV. So for that reason only, I think he'll keep Davies back and he'll play Jack again. Up front, I disagree with Bridge totally. There is no chance in a million years he'll start with Morelos. The guy's simply not fit enough. And Bridge is correct. How do you get fit if you're not getting games? We all know that. But Gio just doesn't play it that way. He done it even the second half of last season. He wouldn't have played Davies at all. If you remember, he was fit the whole time and he wasn't even considered. So for me, it'll be Kovac to start and he'll be hoping for a few goals. Then, by all means, he can make he can make up to 5 changes. I would expect Alfie and that to come on. Out in the right, I think he might start with Matondo. On the other hand, you can't second guess it, guys. None of us can. He might be of the opinion he needs a bit more pace out there on Wednesday night, so he might keep Matondo back. It's just how our manager plays it. Granted, we all know that the problem we've got is in defence, and as I say, for me, that's the big one. If you don't see Sands starting tomorrow, then you know he'll definitely play him on Wednesday night. It's how our manager does it. So I'm fully expecting to see Ben Davies tomorrow afternoon.
I mean, as I said, Blue Star, I thought James Sands had probably one of his best games in a Rangers jersey on Tuesday night. I thought he was very good.
He did. He never. We all kind of fumed and everything because we let the 2 bad goals in, but you can't blame Sands for that. For me, the second one and even the first one was Golson's fault. There's no getting away from it. He should have cleared the first one out the park. Second one, he was just rooted. So it wasn't Sands' fault. But as I say, if he doesn't start with Sands, guaranteed it means he's keeping Sands for Wednesday. That's why I fully expect to see Ben Davies starting tomorrow.
I guess the only situation with Davies is we don't know what his injury. You know, if he was injured on Tuesday, is that still an issue just now? You know, I don't think there's been.
Well, Jaffa, on that you're correct. It might even be that he starts with Suter tomorrow. He never gave any details as to if any of them were unfit or injured. So for me, there's even a great chance he might start with Suter tomorrow.
Well, always a possibility, as you say. You can't second guess Gio. He's got that many cards in his deck. He's probably got 2 or 3 different formations in his head. But one thing's for sure is we need a victory tomorrow. We need to keep the momentum going. And I'm sure you'd agree with that, Southside, about keeping the momentum going in the squad.
Aye, 100%. Blue Star, if you just asked me, I could have told you the team because I don't normally get it wrong, mate. So. It's no, you know, I agree with bits of what you've said, Blue Star. I'll give you my team now, right, for tomorrow. This is what I think. McLaughlin, Tav, Golson. I'm going to say Ben Davies and Borna. Lundstrom and Kamara. Scott Wright on the right, Tillman, Kent and Kovac. Right? Davies to play, to try and get more minutes into his legs because he needs to start playing regular at some point. So I think we start. I think we beat Hibs tomorrow anyway, and I think if you could get 60 minutes out of him tomorrow, and then you could change him and you could bring Sands on. Davis for me will no start tomorrow. Lundstrom, I'd like to get him off at some point and all.
Yeah.
If we can get in the lead, and obviously up front, you're looking to take. Either if we're not bringing on Alfie and Sakala's not getting a chance, then Kolak will play 90 minutes and I'd be looking to change Tillman, Kent, Matondo, any one of them. And I think that's what we've got to look at with Blue Star. But that team there is easily good enough. I think Borna, you might want to get him off as well if Yilmaz is on the bench and give him some time. But I'm expecting us to at least take 2 or 3 off Hibs or a Blue Star. So I'd like to get that as quick as possible. Then we could look to make some changes with a view to Tuesday.
That's an attacking team, Southside.
Well, Scott Wright on Matondo. Right, Scott Wright, I think, works good with Tav. He allows Tav to get down the line and get crosses in. He recycled the ball on Saturday, gave it to Tav. Tav crossed it Tillman when he headed it in the roof of the net. So I think Scott Wright can do a job. I think get him running at them. Kent on the other side, he's looked patchy at times, Kent. He's not been that great. So I'd have a look at giving him a bit of time and then maybe take him off, and you could also put Matondo out in the left. But Tillman, he should play and start. I'm dropping Lawrence, but Lawrence would come on for Tillman.
Just to keep him fresh for Wednesday night.
I think we've got to look at that nucleus of team, but we're not going to get many surprises on Tuesday night. We need to go there, and we'll be up against it at times, but we've got to look to score. And I think there'll be a slight difference in the team selection come Tuesday, but tomorrow's a league game and we want 3 points, and this team, and if you add Lawrence and take somebody out, doesn't matter. We're Glasgow Rangers, we've got a good squad, and we should be going to Easter Road tomorrow and winning no matter what.
Oh, I agree with that. Winning no matter what's what we're all about, and that's what... Of course you can, Bridge.
It's just to say, like, I'm very wary of Hibs, because Hibs can turn things around very easily if they manage to click it. The one I'm more concerned about is when you're playing a centre forward. Either centre forward that comes on, no matter who they are, you've got to watch out for the young lad Porteous, because he's caused major problems for Rangers in the past. And I don't know what the manager's going to do. Is he going to put Joel on and wrap him in cotton wool and hit with Morelos and see how he goes on, because he kind of stood up to the young lad Porteous? Or are we going to watch Kolak maybe getting chopped? That's kind of things that I think the manager would think about as far as that individual position. Other than that, I agree with 100% what the boys have said. We should put a team out that should easily walk past this team. Easily.
Yeah, on paper, Bridge, it always looks that way, but obviously, you've still got to, it's all about attitude and application, and that was with the tempo as well. What was good about Tuesday night, and in fact the last few games, I feel we've got the attitude right, and I'm sure you would agree with that, Blue Star.
Absolutely, Jaffa. The two problem things for me tomorrow, see the guy I want to see coming out, and for me that's why I think we would all agree on the point. McLaughlin's strength over McGregor was that McLaughlin always came out and grabbed the ball out of the air. Let's be honest, guys, that's what we need him to do on Wednesday night. I was actually surprised at a couple of the times that he didn't come out against PSV and grab the ball, because obviously that takes the pressure off our defenders. And he can do it. That's what the big guy is good at. And yet, for some strange reason, Tuesday there, McLaughlin didn't come out for any balls in the air. So for me tomorrow, I want to see him getting back to doing that. The guy that does cause us problems that they had sold and now they've brought him back, is it Boyle or is it Boyce? It's Boyle, isn't it, guys?
Boyle.
Boyce.
Martin Boyle.
Martin Boyle. Well, quite frankly, guys, even when they've been poor, that guy has always gave our defence problems. So he'll definitely be playing for them tomorrow. So our defenders will need to be on their toes. And Bridges right there. Porteous always, as Thingby said, he's been sent off 3 times against us. He gets tore into us. So our team are going to have to be on their mettle. But granted, irrespective of who our manager plays tomorrow, we are definitely looking for 3 points. And guys, I want to see a few goals tomorrow. Honestly, I want to see us really getting at him and creating and getting goals. And I'm quite sure we will.
Well, as always, if our team turn up and we turn up with our passing game, then we play, we win, and that's our players are man for man are far superior to the Hibs team. Bob Gerrard, as far as guys like Ryan Porteous, what's your thoughts on his attitude towards, the way this aggression that he demonstrates when he plays against Rangers? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, exactly. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous with Aberdeen. It's ridiculous with Dundee United. It's ridiculous with several other clubs. And you all know what I mean. They all raised their game a year and a half against Rangers. I don't have, Ryan Porteous, I'll say this, I don't care who hears me, he'll go out and try and hurt somebody tomorrow. You watch, you mark my words. I bet he ends up in the book one way or another, whether it's yellow or it's red. He'll end up on the wrong side of the referee tomorrow than him. But we're in for a battle tomorrow, lads. It's just a typical SPL fixture. We go over the course of the season. We know exactly what we're going to face, and it's up to us just to stand up to it and be better, because we are better in this lot. They've not had a great start to the season, so let's just get rolled into it tomorrow and beat them and get the 3 points and put a marker during this league, because we need to win every game, because you know who will win most of their games, as we all know. And we've got to keep up with it, boys. I'll let you go, guys. I'm going out somewhere. And thank you for your time, And come on, the Rangers tomorrow. I'll see you later on, boys. All the best.
Thanks very much, Bob Ger.
Bye
Cheers,
now.
Bob Ger.
Cheers, Bob Ger.
So, moving on, lads, to tomorrow's game. So, it's if we got an idea of the team that we're going to be, we think Gio's going to put out, realistically, what kind of scoreline are we looking at tomorrow? Southside.
Well, I'll keep mine for now because I've got my bet and I'll get it later on in the show, mate.
No worries. Bridgeman, what kind of score are you hoping for tomorrow?
Well, I'm hoping Rangers go. I'll take a 1-0, as you know. You guys were particularly away from home, and we're playing that mob. But there are times when we just think we should. I believe Rangers should score a lot more than one goal. They do. So I would hedge my bet and say they'll win by 3 clear goals against that mob. However, 1-0 will please me. Any victory will do me fine.
How about yourself, Blue Star? What's your thoughts on results?
Jaffa, honestly, I don't want no 1-0s because it's too nervy a game. I want a minimum of 2 clear. We're 2 goals behind that other mob now, so I want at least 2, preferably more, if we can get them.
2-0 would be a great result away from home at Easter Road any time. I would take that. I would take a 1-0, but I prefer a 2-0. Just going to give a wee jingle out here for everybody. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Jaffa, can I come in for a wee minute? Can I come in on that?
Of course you can.
It's just to say that Blue Star brought up a really good point. I was watching the game today, rewatching it for about the 4th time, and the point he made about John McLaughlin, who normally would come out and get balls, I noticed that. It's just dawned on me what I'd noticed. I noticed him coming out for that last goal that they scored, the corner. He actually started to come out for that ball and moved back again.
That's right, Brad.
That's what I saw. And I think, Blue Star's right. There was something a bit hesitant about him doing so. And that's possibly put him right in a position. And the guy scored the goal with ease. It was not, the goalkeeper wasn't anywhere near it. But if he'd have started to come out, he should have kept coming out. And at least he might have got near the ball or put the guy off. Anyway,
good point.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm sure we've all probably realised already at the start of the season, we have been losing a lot of goals from set pieces. I mean, the 2 goals in Tuesday night were avoidable. They weren't particularly great crosses, either of them, but we just made an absolute hash of it. And we really need to change that rapid.
Jaffa, on that, mate, do you know something? What Brad said there was perfectly correct. McLaughlin did start to come out for that set, their second goal. And the ironic thing is, as we all know, see, even if you've got zonal marking, even if when it's your own players, that this is a crazy thing. This is where some of the rules are absolutely bonkers. see if McLaughlin had come out and even collided with his own players, do you know 9 times out of 10 the ref still blows in the goalkeeper's favour, as we all know. So see, even if he had come out and he never got to that ball, the chances are that the goal wouldn't even have stood. So for me, McLaughlin, would you all agree, if you're talking about shot stopping, Jaffa, honestly, I don't think any of us would say McLaughlin's anywhere near as good a shot stopper as what McGregor is. Therefore, it stands to reason, if our manager's picking McLaughlin, his strength is taking the ball out the air at cross balls. So that was it. That was absolutely pivotal in that game. Our goalkeeper never came out the whole game, because I've watched it the same as Bridge 3 and 4 times. He never came out off that line at all, which I found really, really weird. To be quite honest, it must be because what their coaching staff have told him not to, because they were playing this zonal system. They must have told him to stay on his line, because that's not his natural game.
The
and
conditions of Blue Star were the underfoot conditions, and the ball was, I mean, you saw their goalie losing their goal with that shot from Lawrence. The ball was as slidey as hell. And I'm not defending John McLaughlin. He didn't come off his line on Tuesday night. But what I would say is the conditions were, I mean, the weather was, as you know, the rain was lashing. That's the only thing I can maybe throw in it, maybe the reason why he didn't come off his line.
Sure, Jaffa, but I mean, the worst goalkeeper we ever had was Andy Gorham. What was the first thing Andy Gorham did? His attitude was he was weirder than the rest, even his own defenders, but he would come out and punch the ball, no matter what the conditions were, because he knows fine well, even if he's going to have the tap of his own players, if he gets to that ball first and punches it, he's getting away for the danger area. So when you've got a big guy at 6'3" in goals, you expect him to come out. If he puts his arm up, even to punch the ball, there's nobody getting to that ball before him. So I found that absolutely incredible. As I say, McLaughlin, if you watch him in the 2 previous league games, every cross ball, the big guy came out for them. So he was obviously told to stay on his line because of the zonal marking, which, quite frankly, we've all agreed does not work. It hasn't worked. We don't have big enough defenders. So for me, you play to their strengths, and our goalkeeper's strength is, especially with McLaughlin, he comes out and he goes for the high balls, and it takes the pressure off our defenders without a doubt. And I want to see him doing it tomorrow, definitely.
Can I add to that just a wee second? The irony of it all is that McLaughlin made some smashing saves on the ground by running out and blocking the shots. I thought that was really good and a wee bit different from what his normal game is, picking the ball out of the air. I thought he did a really good game for these blockings, the blocks he made. So I'm not going to criticise him at all, but I do think that was a wee bit slip for him. He shouldn't have hesitated, because he ended up in no man's land. Couldn't even get back to he wouldn't have saved the ball anyway, but he made some good saves.
Yeah, he was very good on the night, Bridgeman. There's I don't think John McLaughlin was at fault for either of the goals, in my humble opinion. Keeping in line with the build up to tomorrow's game. So obviously, you don't see Alan McGregor coming back in at all, Blue Star.
I wouldn't have any problem with McGregor coming in tomorrow. I certainly wouldn't, because, as I say, for me, McGregor's his strengths are, without a shadow of a doubt, for me, he's the best shot stopper. I don't think McLaughlin's anywhere near him in shot stopping. I really don't. But for cross balls, I genuinely always thought Alan's thing by his strengths certainly wasn't like that, because he always stayed on his line. But I mean, if our manager decided to bring Alan McGregor in tomorrow, no, I wouldn't have any problems at all. I just don't think he will. I think when it comes to goalkeepers, I think that most managers' attitude is they usually stick to the number one, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, McLaughlin, he has been very good. He's had a good start to the season. He can't be faulted in that respect. And bearing in mind, he is very good on the ground, and he does keep the ball moving. When we do move that ball around, he's quicker at joining the play up, if you want, when the ball goes back. That way we like to keep, hold of possession. McLaughlin is very good at moving the ball leftwards and rightwards. to get the ball into channels, and he's very quick at getting the ball out. I notice in particular out to Tavernier, which I think is a great plus. And it's something, I think we can build on as the season progresses.
Without a doubt, his kicking ability is no in question. Again, if you had any qualms with McGregor usually just used to kick the ball. It always went out the right-hand side of the park. It very rarely ever went to players unless you threw it out. But as I say, short stop him. If he brought McGregor back in tomorrow, I wouldn't have any qualms. I still think he'll definitely play with McLaughlin on Wednesday night. I don't think there'll be any debate about that. For me, guys, see, like the Barisic, I actually felt in the first couple of league games that Barisic took a bit of unfair criticism. For me, on Tuesday night against PSV especially, I thought Barisic had quite a pretty good game. We can't take anything away from his crossing ability because most of the goals were scored have came from direct free kicks or cross balls from him. Granted, a few have went astray, but so have Tavs. That's part and parcel of the game. You can't be great all the time. But I still think tomorrow, if the wee young guy's fit, I think he might start with him tomorrow and he'll keep Barisic for Wednesday. I don't know what you think about that.
Right, man, what's your thoughts on that?
I'm not dead sure about the young lad that they've brought in. Fitness-wise, I think there's a wee issue as far as that's concerned. And I wouldn't like to see anybody getting put in against Hibs, who are quite a forceful team. But he's got to play sometime. So he may, in fact, just take the plunge and go with that and rest Warner. But I think they need to have a fullback on the line as a substitute, just in case, because the wee fella didn't look 100%. That he'd go over his nerves and things like that the last time he played, and he hasn't kicked the ball for us since. So I don't know if they would bring him in. However, the manager will be the manager and he'll do what he wants to do. I agree that Borna has it at such a bad time, but I find continuously I look to see the communication between him and the boy Sands, and a lot of it's lacking. A lot of it's lacking. Sands, because his body position won't pass to him certain times, and you can see it with your own eyes. A huge big space round about Borna, give him the ball, and because he's got a weakness, he'll turn away and he'll put it back across the Wilton or someone, or even go forward with it. But very rarely, because he's his own body position, he doesn't pass to Borna. So there's a wee issue there. I don't know how we're going to resolve it, but that might be something they need to do. It's just, to me, I just notice these things, so sorry.
Whilst we're talking about the defensive side, and you touched on Blue Star there about the zonal marking, and we seem to have adopted that in particular this season. My personal issue with zonal marking, and Tuesday night was a great example of that, the second goal, because the guy gets a run. He gets a run on you. He gets about a 2.5 yard run on you, and there's nobody tracking the runner. And I think in the modern game, because of the fitness levels of the players, giving anybody a 2.5 yard run on you is mental. And I'm
suicidal, Jaffel.
Absolutely
suicidal. Yeah, I totally concur. And I defy anybody to turn around and disagree with you, mate. You're bang on. You're automatically allowing the guy that's coming in to meet that ball. You're allowing him to get pace, to get his jump, to get to that ball first. And it's just suicidal, especially if you've got 5 or 6 players on that 18-yard box and they're not running, they're not going to meet the ball. Therefore, the guy that's running in is able to run and get leverage up to get to the ball first. It's absolutely crazy. And there's no need for it. Put it this way, why should we, Glasgow Rangers, need to play zonal marking, especially in our Scottish game when we're far superior to all the other teams? We have better players. It's crazy. I get the argument that if he thinks we're up against superior players, he maybe wants to try something different. But it isn't working, Jaffa. Therefore, if it doesn't work, you've got to change it.
Yep. Okay, I know we're moving back to Tuesday night's game. Just moving back to the Hibs game, we're going to hear now Port's report on Hibs and a breakdown of them. Put yourselves on mute.
Hello and welcome to Port's report. Today we'll discuss Lee Johnson's Hibernian team. Rangers will be hoping to maintain their 100% start to the Scottish Premiership on Saturday when they make the journey to face Hibs at Easter Road. Hibs have had mixed results across the opening trio of fixtures, but have now failed to win since the opening day of the season. They started their campaign with a 1-0 win against St Johnstone, but have now failed to secure 3 points in their 2 fixtures, a draw against Hearts and a defeat to Livingston. Last season Hibs finished 8th, which will be aiming to improve on, with a win on Saturday, which will move them to 3rd. But in order to do that, Hibs will have to do something that they failed to do last year, and that is defeat Rangers. Hibs team news: Martin Boyle returned to the club and will provide danger and attack for Hibs. He's a talismanic figure and proved a real thorn in Rangers' side in previous matches. The fixture will come too soon for Kyle McGuinness, who's just returned from injury. Aidan McGeady is out with knee ligament damage. Kevin Nisbet has completed some training but will take no part. Dimitri Mitchell is out with a hamstring injury, but Rocky Bashini and Josh Campbell returned to the squad. Hibs might be undefeated at Easter Road so far this season, but they are welcoming Rangers team in fine form, who are looking to become champions again. While John's men might provide some strong competition, it's expected that the visitors will have too much for Hibs this Saturday. Historically, Hibs will always raise their game against Rangers, so it will be a difficult game. Hibs are a team that like to press high. They'll try and stop Rangers playing their open, expansive football. I feel, due to manager Lee Johnson's comments, Hibs will have a go at Rangers as they aim to get their season back on track. Hibs will try to play an attacking 4-3-3, which is a breath of fresh air in Scotland, but their 2 wide men will drop into midfield and make it a 5 at times. They're a young team that are still not up to speed with the SPFL, in my opinion, so Gers should take advantage of that. And that's the end of Port's report.
That's great, Port. Thanks for that. Gives us a good insight to who we're facing tomorrow. And it's always good to hear that Aidan McGeady's out with ligament damage.
That's badness, but true. It's true.
It's true.
Very good. I really like that.
So we're expecting them to play a 4-3-3 according to Port, and they'll be nice and open tomorrow, Southside. That should all go well for us, shouldn't it?
Yes, I think it should. Everything should be okay, as far as we've said it before. And can I just say congratulations to Port Bear as a really good report. Well done to him. Well done.
So I'm saying they'll be expecting them to play a 4-3-3 Southside, so that should play into our attacking proness, shouldn't it?
Aye, tomorrow, mate. Aye, Lee Johnston, he's talks. I've heard him talk, and he said he's going to have his teams attacking and all that. So tomorrow we'll find out when the Rangers come to town. I think it will be a hard game. We'll have to win certain battles, Jaffa, but I believe that we've got the players and the capabilities to put Hibs away tomorrow. Like Port said in the report, they've not started well. We've got 6 out of 6, so 3 games, 9 points. That's what I'm looking for tomorrow, and that's all that matters. Tomorrow is getting the 3 points. I think we could take 2, 3, 4 off them tomorrow, so I think we've got to go and look to score early and get the game won, and then I'd like to see some changes with a view to Tuesday. But the league's important as well, Jaffa, so 3 points is the most important thing tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. Bridge, do you think the fact that Hibs will play a 4-3-3 will play into Rangers' hands tomorrow?
Well, it's really difficult to say because, Hibs are going to play like Hibs play, and then sometimes their game just gets a bit chaotic, and then they don't know what they're doing. And the only thing we end up seeing, in my opinion, is that they're going to resort to long balls, high balls, you name it. Also, they think that Barisic is a bit weak, so they pump the ball down the right and then they change it over to pump it down the left. There's no great midfield play by Hibs, in my opinion, but they are very dangerous, very dangerous. So they'll do what they have to do, but we need to watch it, because heading above the grass, it could be booted tomorrow. Heading above the grass, I don't see Rangers being feared from them in any way, shape or form. And I'd like anybody wants to listen to me, tell me, I'll go for it. I think I'll be happy with a 1-0. I don't have a problem. But I think they're going to score 2 or 3. But they need to do it right and watch out for the injuries. Just watch it.
And Antonio Colak, Blue Star, certainly looks as though he's grown into that Rangers jersey, doesn't he? Blue Star left us.
I think he's away, mate.
Has he?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
What?
Aye, Globe. Aye, Jaffa, I've been mega impressed. As I say, I was totally taken aback with the likes of Big Hateley and that, saying Kovacs wasn't trying hard enough. I'm gobsmacked at that. I think the big guy's been absolutely sensational. I really do. And tomorrow, I want to see more of our midfield players getting up and support in that box, helping them out, because for me, the big guy has been making the runs. The players around about him are still finding their feet and they're still getting to learn how to play alongside him. But there's absolutely no doubt he's a top player. And for me, guys, I just want to see... I actually do hope that Hibs have a go at Zamora. I really do, because, as Bridge says, they do hit big long balls. And if they play that way, I want to see our defenders dealing with it. It's going to give them great incentive going into Wednesday night's game. And as Southside keeps saying, Southside, it's Wednesday night, mate. It's no Tuesday night. So for me, guys, I hope Hibs open up, and I hope they do have a good go at us, because that's when we're at our strongest. We pass the ball between the lines, and it'll give us great incentive going into Wednesday nights, guys. So, Jaffa, thanks for taking my call. Love the show, and I'll carry on listening, guys, and I'll let you get more callers on. Cheers, guys. Onwards and upwards.
See you, Blue Star.
See you later, Blue Star. I know I'll need to remember it's Wednesday. I'm forgetting them. I'm going away on Tuesday, so I've been getting bangers, and everything you're a banger. I've been getting texts, so there you go. Wednesday.
That's big. Are you travelling on Tuesday, Southside?
I leave Tuesday, mate. Aye.
Leave Tuesday.
Yep.
As I was saying there, Southside, Colak, and I'm sure you'll agree, certainly seems to be filling up that Rangers jersey nicely, doesn't he? I thought his goal on Tuesday night was exquisite. I thought it was brilliant. His movement was right. I was right in front of me. He pulled forward, then he's a wee jump back.
Clean up. Aye. He took his goal well, mate. It was a penalty box finish. He just glided it into the net when he got cut back for Tav. He's full of confidence, Jaffa. The boy's scoring goals. It's one of the hardest jobs to do at Glasgow Rangers when you come in as a player. Goalkeeper and probably centre forward. And you want him to score and go off to a flyer. Well, he scored against Spurs, and then he got the one chopped off at Livingston, and then he's went on a run now in the last few games where he's scoring. So he's full of confidence. We just need to keep putting balls across the box, and hopefully he'll finish. He looks like a penalty box finisher, Jaffa. So...
Oh, he does.
And he's got the pace. He does a lot of running. The chase he's done. Works hard. I've got no fear the Mora Bridge about Porteous or anything like that. I just think we play our game. Let the referee hopefully take care of the game. But I hope there's no talking points like that. I think the big man, if he starts tomorrow, which I believe he will, I believe he's got a goal or two in him tomorrow against Hibs. And that's what I'm looking forward to, mate. And while he's full of confidence in scoring goals, he starts for me.
Absolutely. Right, lads, we're going to have a tune. Get yourselves in mute.
Oh, every other Saturday, my half day out, and it's up to the match I go. Happily we wander down the Copeland Road, me and my wee pal Joe. Oh, we love to see the lassies with a blue scarf on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Whoa, me oh me, oh my. Oh, how we love to hear the cry. We love to see the lassies with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you the best of all. We love to see the Rangers score. Oh, we won the Scottish League about 1,000 times. The League Cup is simple too. We gave some exhibitions in the Scottish Cup. We gave a Wembley Wizard too. And when the Glasgow Rangers win the European Cup, when won they have before, we'll rally round an Ibrox 100,000 strong. We'll give the boys an Ibrox roar. Whoa, me, oh me, oh me, oh my. Oh, how we love to hear the cry. We love to see the lassies with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys roar. But I don't have to tell you the best of all. We love to see the Rangers score. Oh, how we love to hear the cry. We love to see the lassies with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you the best of all. We love to see the Rangers score. Whoa, me, oh me, oh me, oh my. Oh, how we love to hear the cry. We love to see the lassies with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you the best of all. We love to see the Rangers score.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Great tune there, Fox. I was standing on top of my seat here. To make a wee say a wee thing about the Rangers women team. I don't know if anybody watched the game last night. Rangers women beat Ferencváros 3-1 in the Champions League playoff. I watched the game and Jenny Danielson scored 2 goals. What a performance by the girls. I thought it was outstanding. Don't know if any of the lads, Southside or Brisbane, I don't know if you managed to see the game.
I didn't see the game when it was on, Jaffa. I heard them talking about it after and seen a wee clip on YouTube. And the park didn't look very great, did it?
No, it was terrible, mate. It was terrible.
But a great result, and a great result for the club as well, and it gets them into the group stages now, yeah.
They've got a game on. I think they play Sunday. I think they play the winners. I'm not quite sure. They've got, it's like a group that's in Southside as a format, and then it goes to a playoff, and then they get into the Champions League proper.
Right.
Partly because this is the first time they've ever played in it. So
yeah.
But Ferencváros, what a team they were. The ladies, they came with a good reputation. So I thought the ladies done very well.
Aye, tremendous, Jaffa. Great result for them, and hopefully they'll get into the group stages.
And then in other news as well, this week, Southside, and obviously a big announcement with the club as well with James Tavernier's contract. I know they touched on it in the show last night, but what's your thoughts on Tav extending his contract? It will take him to over a decade at the club.
I think it was great news. I was really chuffed when we won the league and Tav was the guy lifting the trophy, Jaffa. He's been through a lot with the club. He's not always been a fan's favourite. I think as we went up the leagues and into the leagues and then progressed into Europe, he's came on that journey with the club because he hadn't played in Europe before, and he's grew as a player. And he's became our club captain, different from other club captains, probably like a Terry Butcher, Richard Goff, Barry Ferguson, John Gregg, different types of characters that we've seen at the club. But he leads by example, Jaffa, I think, and nothing more so in the European run last season and the amount of goals he scores. He takes penalties under pressure, especially in Europe. And it's all right saying you expect a player to score every time for the penalty spot, but he has been under great pressure at times, and he's usually mostly delivered. He did go on a wee run where he missed one or two, but I think for what he cost us and what he's produced for the club and grown as a person, I think we've done quite well for about the 250, 300 grand, I think, that he cost, round about that figure. And I just think that he's a great asset. He supplies us with goals. Some wonder goals he scored for us as well. He's dangerous at free kicks. So I think it was a great piece of business by the club to keep probably one of the best right backs in Scotland.
Oh, absolutely, Southside. I mean, pound for pound, what a signing when you think about it and what we've had back in return with the amount of goals and assists he's given the club. And as we've said, on numerous occasions on the show, James Tavernier has been a brilliant captain for Rangers. Do
you know, Jaffa, I think the thing that I heard the boys talking about it and people saying, well, nobody's come in for him, right? I think because he's not an England international. I think that's why. I think if he had some England caps, I think then that other clubs might have looked at him. But I'm glad that he's still at Glasgow Rangers, mate. I think he's been a great servant so far. He's never injured. Very, very seldom. He turns up every week and he's usually an 8 to a 9 out of 10. A couple of times he's maybe put in a great performance and everybody's on his back. But he motors up and down that right-hand flank, and sometimes we leave exposed that bit at the back when he's bombing up, and he can't always get back. He's got deficiencies at defending at certain points, Jaffa, but come on, he's a great player.
Show me a player that's not got a deficiency, Southside. I mean, that's the same for every professional footballer. I think we've been joined by Davy from Corby. Is that right? Davy, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, lads? You okay?
Aye, good, Dave.
All good.
Yep.
What's in your mind?
Well, I tell you one thing. We've got to do something tomorrow against Tavernier. We've got to just show what we are made of tomorrow. Because I tell you one thing, lads, it's going to be a very hard game.
It always is, Davy, at Easter Road. I don't think there's such a thing as an easy Rangers game at Easter Road. But I maintain that if we get the attitude right and we get the performance right and the tempo right, I think we've got more than enough to be able to turn them over, Dave.
Yeah, I think I say 2-0 to Rangers tomorrow.
Any thoughts on the team, Davey?
Well, I reckon you'll still go with the same team that you did on Wednesday night? Tuesday night, sorry, yeah. And he done well. He did do well in the first half, but I thought the second half he started a bit slow because I thought PSV started to come on him a little bit, and sometimes we didn't know what we were doing. And the first goal, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what Golson was doing. Even in the second one, I don't even know what the goalkeeper was doing. Is he going to come for the ball? Is he not going to come for the ball? But it looked like he just stood there and the ball just went to the guy and Golson went up for it and he couldn't get it. And then the guy headed it in and Tavernier was on the post trying to head it out.
Yeah, I think we talk on here a lot about men on the post, Southside. I know you're a particular fan of that, aren't you?
Aye, mate. Aye, 100%. I think we should always keep a man on the post, and usually Stephen Davis is there. But Dave, see when you're talking about the goals, I mean, the first one, Jono Martin caused that. Dion made a run across, jumped, and Goldstein dipped his head down, and for then on, it was just a calamity to get it out our box. I was surprised. I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to say it. I just thought McLaughlin went left when I thought we had loads of players on that side. The ball broke. I thought if you were going to shoot, the boy shot exactly where he shot, and I thought he should maybe have went right. But it was one of the mistakes that we didn't clear the ball for inside the box. And the second goal, I've looked at a couple of teams now. I thought he should have probably tried to come out and punch it. I know it was whipped in, but any ball in that 6-yard box should always try. Your goalkeeper, I think, should be at least trying to make an attempt to get it, especially in the 6-yard box when it's coming in. But he didn't, and he went backwards. But see, to be honest, Dave, it was shocking defending. The big boy ran right round the back of the defence and came right into that area and got a free header. And as we've spoke about, zonal marking isn't for us when we don't have commanding players that can win the first header. We won a few. I don't think PSV troubled us all night with high balls. I think it was just the corner kicks. I think they're a team that play the ball on the deck and want to try and pass through you. So I think McLaughlin he'll have a busy night next Wednesday, mate. I believe that. But I still think we can go through.
Well, absolutely. Southside, I still think we've got enough. I mean, I think the game's finally poised there. You know, maybe PSV shade it in that they have a wee bit of the edge, but I agree with what Bridge was saying earlier on. You know, they've got to come out and do it in their own patch, and that sometimes brings a different pressure. But tomorrow's more important at this moment in time. You know, we've got to focus on the Hibs game and try and part as much as it's difficult to part the European game, but. Tomorrow's it's all about our attitudes, an early kick-off. It's about getting the personnel right and making sure that we turn up for the game tomorrow, Dave. I'm sure you would agree with that.
Yeah, I really do, because it's most important. Let's forget about Wednesday. We need to start winning these games in the Scottish Premiership. If we're going to win the league this year, we can just forget about Wednesday and concentrate on tomorrow, because every point means a lot. Because if we're going to win that league, we're going to have to concentrate tomorrow. Because I tell you now, lads, Tavernier won't sit down. They'll fight for every ball, and they're even going for the horrible tackles. I see a lot of the Hibernian players getting booked and all that, but we've got to be on the ball tomorrow. We've got to go from the start to the finish and leave everything on that pitch.
Here on that.
Yeah.
Can't disagree with that.
Here.
Can I just say about the Hibs game tomorrow? Like, the reality of the thing is, this is the biggest game of the season. No matter what anyone says, the biggest game of the season is hitting us on Saturday. We need to win. We need 3 points. No matter what, we need 3 points. Performance is a secondary thing, but obviously with the European game in mind, we're thinking a good performance from the team, and let's see some of the players getting some time or whatever. And it'd be nice to do all the good things. It'd be really nice for it to happen. But primarily, biggest game of the season, we need 3 points, and then we can step forward to the next one.
Absolutely, Bridge. Yeah, it's one game. It's always the same at our club. It's one game at a time, isn't it? I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on Southside Super 6. He's been doing very well at it, and I think he's got his Super 6 ready for this weekend's games. Take it away, Southside.
Southside Super 6 for Saturday, the 20th of August. My first selection is Tottenham Hotspur to beat Wolves, and that's a 12:30 kick-off. My second selection is Barnsley to beat Wycombe. My third selection is Peterborough to beat Lincoln. My fourth selection is Leyton Orient to win away from home against Colchester United. My fifth selection is Airdrie to beat Alwa Athletic. And my sixth selection is Dunfermline to win away from home against Kelty Hearts. All 6 pays 35-1. And my Rangers bet for tomorrow is Rangers to win 3-0 at 11-1.
I'd take that on the south side. That would be a brilliant score, wouldn't it?
Aye, I think we're good enough to get 3-0 tomorrow, Jaffa. I'm looking forward to getting through there, and hopefully we'll do the business, mate. I expect us to do it. It will be a hard game. We all know it'll be a hard game, but we've got the players to do this. They've had a lot of changes in their team. Their manager probably will get them up for it, and I think he's wanting to play a brand of football. We want to play a brand of football as long as he gets the team right selection-wise, and I believe we'll be up for it. It's a league, Jaffa, and that's the most important thing for us to win the Premier League straight away.
Southside.
Mm-hmm.
If with a James Tavernier goal added to that as a first scorer, what kind of betting do you get on that?
I would need to look it up. I can check that out for you. Actually, do you know? I think it was 60s.
60s.
I'll check it, right. I think it was 61.
High numbers.
But Hibs are Jaffa. It's the league, right, and we're away from home, and this is one of the sort of tests. Hibs away, Hearts away, and it's entity. These are the games that we've got to be. These are the games that we've got to be winning. So we've got 6 points. We've won 2 games. It's now to win the 3rd game tomorrow, mate.
Absolutely, and let's hope there's not a zonal marking in sight. I'm sure you would agree with that, Bridge.
Yeah, I certainly would. Obviously, I can't speak for anyone other than myself, but I do fear that the manager will continue with the zonal marking in the hope that the players will pick up on it. I hope they do too if the manager is going to do it, but I really do. I do fear we've been wary of, shall we say, corner kicks and free kicks coming into our box. Sometimes we've looked like scared kittens, we don't know where to go. There are other times when the ball's coming directly to the centre half of whatever's head, and they manage to get their head to it and clear it, which is great, and they always got a big cheer for that. But really and truly, there's teams coming in, they pound us with these high balls, and we don't manage to clear enough of them anyway. That's for sure. So I fear for them.
Yes, as we say, regularly with the quality of players that we have, and a team laden with internationals. If we turn up tomorrow, and I've got no reason why they wouldn't turn up, and he gets the personnel right, I can't see anything other than a Rangers victory. An early goal always settles the nerves, Davey. That's something I think we should always go out onto the pitch and push for.
Yeah, that's true what you just said. But we must win these games, It's a long, long season, And then if Kolach gets injured, who are you going to put in if Morelos is not fit? That's a worry. Yeah,
well, players getting injured is part and parcel of the game. Kolach has been scoring goals for fun. He looks every bit a Rangers striker, which I think we've been crying out for, a 6-yard box striker. His goal on Tuesday night I thought was brilliant, and I thought his goal last week was also very good. He's been really good at the start of the season. It would have been 5-5 if it not been for the first day at Livingston. In saying that, if Kolak gets injured, Tillman can play centre forward, Dave. So I don't think we're short of personnel.
Yeah. I know Wednesday's an important game. We must, it's going to be a hard one, but I think we can do it. I really do. I really think we can go over there and get the result. I really do. But it's going to be a hard test, but Rangers go through hard tests, and that's what we are. I would love to see Rangers get into the Champions League. That's what I want to see. But I tell you one thing, I think it'll be a hard one for Rangers. I really do.
Yes, it's always difficult when you've got these, and you're in between the league programme and you've got your away tie in Europe coming up, because obviously the manager's got to do the same. He has to park it and concentrate on the league fixture, because that's the priority. And separating that is always difficult for any manager. But he's just got to do it. He's got to get his focus on the game tomorrow. And Gio's been very good at that. As in his time that he's been with us, he's good at keeping the European games to the one side. Bridgeman?
Sorry, I couldn't get out of mute there. Sorry. Yeah, I think you're right. Our manager's been very, very good at keeping the two the difference between the two areas of concentration, i.e. Europe and Scotland. But he knows himself. Any time I listen to him, he always maintains the league games are the most important, bread and butter, blah blah blah, and he doesn't say he doesn't use too many words. But what he uses is very good words, and I think he's very wise, and that's the way it should be. He should be concentrating on the league as much as possible. There is time to think about, should just drop off the league. That's 90 minutes are done, and give yourself an hour after it to congratulate yourself or whatever, and then it's right on to the next game, and it's got to be right on to it. And at that time, if it's a European game, it's got to be very quick. We can't afford that. Believe me anyway, I don't think that we can afford to drop our concentration in the league games. We can't afford it. We did it last season, and it cost us plenty in points, stupid results, what we would call stupid results, 2-2 Ibrox and things like that, and we just can't afford that to happen. We have to go out there, make sure we win the league, get 3 points.
And James Tavernier will be feeling on top of the world tomorrow, Bridge, after signing an extension to his contract. And I do understand that there was an erotic foot spa came along with his new contract.
An erotic foot spa. Are you talking about the same person? You'd have told me his biggest fan. Our own. Oh no, you can't say who it is. I do apologise. But no, erotic foot spa. That's good. Erotic foot spa, yeah. I don't think it would matter to him. Tavernier has been. I'm not his biggest fan as far as the captaincy is concerned, but he hasn't put too many foot wrong. I'm looking for a captain.
No, in that foot spa.
No, I'm saying not in that foot spa. You're absolutely right. But I'm looking for a Rangers captain. It's a big, old, towering centre half that does things that nobody else will do. But Tavernier doing that. He's on the pitch, he's magnificent, a great athlete. Struggles a wee bit at the back sometimes, but really and truly, going forward, there's hardly anybody better. You've got a right back that scores, and I don't know how many goals he scored. He's played 350-something games, I think it is, and he scored over 100 goals, and some of them free kicks and penalties, and others are. How can you get a right back that scores on the far post? I mean, it's just incredible. And he's wonderful to watch. He is wonderful to watch.
I mean, really, really crazy statistics from James Tavernier. His numbers are absolutely off the scale, Southside. I don't think anybody compares to him.
No. I think with some of the players that they've spoke to, it had 400 and 500 appearances, and they were looking at how quickly he's racked him up. And like we say, he's always usually fit, Jaffa, But some of his goals he scored have been amazing, especially I remember that free kick up at Tannadice. There was one against St Johnstone. There was one against Motherwell at Fir Park on the volley. I think it was the Sakala game, when he scored 3. Tav scored a volley in that. But he's been a great servant, and we get him forward into positions where he can deliver good crosses, and obviously we gave him the licence to come in at the back post. And like you said, Bridge, the many times he's come in at the back post, that's what we're hoping that the wide player would start to do, get in at the back post and they could get their goals up. But he's been brilliant for his, said a few, like we say, he's not perfect. He'll have a couple of not so great games, but the fact is that he adds so much to us going forward, Jaffa, especially on the right-hand side, and that's what makes a difference for us in games, because that's a lot of times where we attacked him.
I mean, is it too soon to use the word legend for James Tavernier? Bridgeman?
I would most assuredly say he's a legend. He's certainly a legend for the short time he's in his 10th year or something like that. A year or so to go before he does the 10. His contract will take him up to the 10 years. And listen, he's a fantastic player for us. And he still scores goals for us in penalties. He's a main penalty taker. He still creates chances for people, assists and goals. I mean, he was involved in one of the best goals we've seen in a long time. Was that 4-pass goal for us? It was just wonderful to see that goal. Passes from somebody, Tavernier to somebody, and then all of a sudden it's in the net. I can't remember our names offhand. Fall into place shortly. But that was a great goal. Cholak's goal, fantastic goal, great passing. Best move of the week, best move of the night, definitely.
Southside legend for you?
No yet, no.
No yet,
mate. I think players are probably fans look at players for winning trophies. It's how many medals that you're going to win. You'll get a player who will be good and you'll get a medal collection, but he was probably average to good, right, at playing a squad or a few seasons, and then you'll have your exceptional players that make the difference, like McCoy's, Tately, Goff, players like that. Ian Ferguson was another one. I mean, nine winners' medals or something. Richard Goff's the same. Ali McCoy. Tav is a wonder. He's a good player. He's not even an international player. So if he was to get picked for England, he's going to go up against Trent Alexander-Arnold probably. And that's the sort of competition that he'd be up against to try and get a cap for England, Jaffa. But he does a job for us here, and he's proved it in Europe. He got in the team, didn't he? And he was a top goal scorer in Europa. Yep. So you can't get any higher accolade than that, mate, as well, I think he's not worried about a cap probably when he's achieving things like that.
That's very true, mate. Very true. Davey, is James Tavernier a legend for you?
I'm the same, like the guys are saying, not yet, but Richard Goff is one of my favourite defenders back in my days anyway. He's getting there, but you know what I mean, he could still be, yeah. But there's a lot of players in the past, like Sandy Jardine and, you know what I mean, all the old players, Perini, a lot of them, But I reckon he would get there, but he is a brilliant player, don't get me wrong. He's a fantastic player. I'd just like to see more from him, a little bit more from him, because he seems like he goes down one bit and then he just forgets. And then he lays the space and then he lets the other team come on to us. And then we're short at the back and then they go towards our goal. But I'd like to see more from Tav.
He's not quite got the Superman cape on all the time, has he? He's just got it on most of the time. It's difficult to be in two places at the one time, isn't it? So, moving forward to the game tomorrow, so we're all expecting a performance from Rangers. We're expecting a victory. So, where would you like to see Ryan Kent, or what would you like to see Ryan Kent produce tomorrow, Bridgeman?
One of my favourite players at Rangers at the moment is, I think, and again, a kind of talisman figure for us. And I'd like to see him taking them on down the left hand side and keep it on the wing. And I like him to cut in, but I do want him to get in the box. When he cuts in, get in the box no matter what, because you never know your luck with that Hibs defence. A wee foot trip up, anything stupid that they can do, that'll happen, and it gives him a chance. I really like the boy. I don't want to see him going. I want him to sign a new contract. I hope it happens.
Yeah, me too, Bridge. I certainly wouldn't like to lose Ryan Kent.
Jaffa.
Yes, Southside.
You've watched Kent, right? You've seen him when we watch him at Ibrox Bridge, right? See, when Borna gets the ball, certain situations, do you know how he stands that back close to Borna on that touchline at times, and he can only play that 5-yard pass, and then he sort of gets the ball, he's got a defender on him, and then another one. Sometimes he gives him time to get another defender on him. He doesn't want to sort of bomb down that line too often and give him a chance for Borna could play a ball in between a defender and knock it down, or knock it over a big left foot, knock it down the line. At times, I just think Kent sometimes sticks too close to Borna at times. No, I think so. When you could try and get him one-on-one with the actual fullback.
I think the word's predictable at times, Southside, in my opinion. I think it looks a wee bit predictable. Because under Gerrard, he had a freedom, didn't he, to roam? And I don't think he's got that with Gio.
Gio wants wingers to sort of stay on the wing. I get that. Obviously, you notice it on the right-hand side. Wright will come in to let Tav go down. And Kent will do it sometimes, but see, just looking at him on Wednesday night, especially in the first half, Tuesday night, sorry, he didn't give Borna a lot. He wasn't prepared to make a run, sort of hope to take the fullback down the line, maybe even to give Borna space to play the ball somewhere else or move forward. I just thought he stayed a bit close to him, and like you say, then he starts to either come inside and then he's got to look to pass it, or he passes it to Kent, he passes it back to Borna. I just think sometimes he's a wee bit lazy at times where he could probably get on his bike down the line. Jaffa, just my opinion, mind you.
A lot of the guys round about me were having a similar conversation about Kent on Tuesday night, Southside. We had that debate at half time. That exact conversation. It's easy, I think, for defenders to mark that because it's too predictable. He's not unpredictable. Not a lot of the time, and when he is unpredictable, that's when he's usually very effective. That's I'm sure the case. I'm sure you would agree with that, Bridge.
But one of the things I noticed is we as a team, when Kent's shooting the wing and we run down there, a Borna runs down, he gets within 10, 15 yards, and he passes the ball to Kent. There's three, sometimes multiple fullbacks or multiple players trying to get around them. We must take advantage of that. He's created space. He's pulled players in. Somewhere along the line, we don't want to necessarily try and beat them all, but we're looking for a pass, maybe two passes, and get into that space that is left created. We don't seem to do it. Well, not very often anyway. So I think it kind of flatters a wee bit sometimes when you see him running, all of a sudden he's got knocked off the ball or something like that. I don't want him to be running against strong defenders. I want him to run and utilise the space, create a wee bit of space, and let somebody else do the business. Maybe cut the ball back for Borna to push it down the inside left channel to that boy Tom. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he's a great wee player for us today. These are the kind of things I'm looking for.
Okay, let's try and get some more callers in. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Southside, what's your thoughts on James Sands?
James Sands, I think once we get the defence sorted out on the left-hand side, which I expect to be Ben Davies, then I think he's got to look to try and get a position in the centre of midfield. He's not going to get a game at right back, although he can play right-hand side. So for me, he's in playing left-hand side of defence when he's actually predominantly a central midfielder or a defensive midfielder. He isn't a centre-back. He has played in that position a few times. He's also played right-back for his country, but he's predominantly a midfielder. If Jack's not cutting it fitness-wise and Stephen Davis is only in and out the team, I think in certain games we need legs, and I think you need fit players. I think you need players to run about. So if I was using Wednesday for an example, because in the Scottish League, most teams will sit in, but for Europe, I think we need players with legs and stuff. So I think James Sands could go in and play. If you put him in the midfield, you could go in and play slightly on the right-hand side, Lundstrom in the middle to the left. If you're playing two, which means Tav can go forward, he could play the Ryan Jack role. He's strong, he's fast, he's quick, and he's never had a chance in that midfield position. He played a great ball a couple of weeks ago when he just came out of the halfway line and chipped it right into Tillman's feet in the box. He's got vision. I just think we've not seen the best of him because he's been put in the left-hand side of defence or he's been flung at right back, Jaffa. But, so I don't know what you think, or Bridge.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot more from James Sands. As I said earlier, I think on Tuesday night, I thought it was one of his best games he'd had. The guy's definitely got that. He's got something about him, and I suspect Gio sees that in training, Bridge. I think he must recognise that there is something there. There's a player in him, or else he wouldn't have went to all the trouble of getting the guy over from the States.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But as the Southside said, the truth is he's a player that appears to be playing out of position. Although he did have his best game for Rangers, that's not to say he was a fantastic player. But he did have his best game for Rangers the other night. But there were still slight faults here and there the way he plays. But he might be one of the defensive midfield players that we're looking for. In fact, if we could only get that sort of left-footed centre half to be fit and be available every week, and that would allow them to get competition with Sands involved in it. So you have the Sands and Jack, Ryan Jack. The thing is for Sands is he could be if he moves into the midfield area and along that competition, he could end up playing less games than he was a centre half, and that's not going to be a good thing for him. He'll be looking. He wants to play games all the time,
but he's not going to play centre half.
No, I understand. I know I'm saying that, but as it stands at the moment, if he moves up to if he's taken out of that position, then he might not get as many games as he's got for playing in that position. That's what I meant to say.
I know, I understand what you're saying, right? But I'm saying he's not going to probably play in centre defence. We didn't spend £4 million, so we're expecting, right? Ben Davies is going to come in and play that left-hand side, bar injuries, right? So,
absolutely.
So James Sands needs to get a place he'll have to look for a place in the team. All I'm saying is we've got a player there that we've had now for nearly a season and a bit, or half a season, and now we're going on. We're talking, people say, would you pay £4.5 million? Most people would say no. He's 21 years of age. He plays for America. He's an international. He's never had a chance to play in his actual position for us. So all I'm saying is that's the position he's got to go in and look for. And I think he could play on the right with Lundstrom. I think the two of them could play in there together. He's fast, he's quick, he's tough in the tackle. He's defensive minded with tab bombs forward. They could do the Ryan Jack role. Ryan Jack, unless he comes back and starts playing well. Stephen Davis, obviously no featuring all the time. So I believe that he's got a chance of getting in there, and he's got to fight then Glenn Kamara for the position if we're going to play a two. And it would allow Lundstrom to go forward in the league if we were playing a two at times. One of them can surely go and step forward. I just think he's young, he's athletic, and he's got to try and go in and nail his position. And I just think, Jaffa, we've never seen Sands playing centre midfield yet, so we couldn't judge him. Everybody's judging him as a left centre back or playing right back in a game against Annan and a couple other games. That's how James Sands is getting judged at the moment.
Do you think Sands would give us more mobility in that middle area of the park than Southside?
I think he would give the running, the athletic. I think he can knock a ball, he can pass. I think you'd see better because he'd be comfortable on the right hand side of the park, which he's comfortable on. He's not comfortable on the left hand side. He's a right footed player, especially when you're playing centre back, Jaffa. You know, he's a central midfielder. So
you're lopsided, aren't you?
I'm just saying, if we want to see what James Sands is made of, he needs to first force his way into the team. But I'd like to see him in the centre midfield when we're playing a two. It wouldn't bother me if he was in the team, Jaffa. I want to see what
he's not doing himself any harm, is he? Now,
no, and he's getting his game time like we're talking about. But in time, I'd expect Ben Davies or Suter to be pushing into that position, and then James Sands will have to look, I think, into central midfield, because that's what he is, a midfielder.
Well, that's his natural position. Sorry, Bridge, on you go.
I was just going to say I can't disagree. My difficulty is that the manager, and it's all what the manager sees. The manager sees Sands as an alternative at the moment, a probable alternative to the boy Ben Davies. And there must be some sort of secret, because I don't know if he's injured or not. I haven't even heard if he was injured, a bad ankle or what. Never heard anything about it. So he just never appeared in the squad for a European game, a big European game too. So I'm assuming there was an injury somewhere and they had hushed it up or whatever they've done. Unless you guys could tell me something slightly different. So Sands at the moment is the first choice for the left side of centre half, and that's the way it's going to be, in my opinion, until, as you said so wisely, until we get Ben Davies in fit. So if there's fitness thing, we need to get him fit. Other than that, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. So young Sands is going to play there, and that's giving him a chance to get first team football, and that's a great thing, getting first team football. And he isn't putting too many feet wrong. He's playing quite well in that position. He's not making himself stupid or anything like that. He's playing quite well, and he had quite a good night there. I just sometimes think that when you think he's out of position, we'll move him into midfield and try him out, and he doesn't work. He doesn't work on that night, and somebody else is in there, Ben Davies or whatever. They'll just take the centre half role, and that'll leave Sands out a fish out of water, and that's what could happen to him. That's all I'm saying. Nothing else.
Yeah, I happen to agree with both of you. I think James Sands is not doing himself any harm at the moment, but I think he's still out of position, and I would like to see him getting a run in the team. I agree with you, Southside. I think he would add a tremendous amount of ability to that middle of the park area. In fact, I think that was the start of the second half on Tuesday night. I think that was where we kind of lost the game a wee bit, was in that mobility area, the middle of the park, because PSV happened back again to the European game. PSV were very effective in that area because they had three really powering midfielders, and I think they were running over the top of us a wee bit.
Stephen Davis, Jaffa, is good when you're controlling a game in the SPL, but we're up a level here in the Champions League, and there'll be people screaming, but he set up the goal. He did. Great pass. We were in the game at that point, but when they were in tappies and people are running by you, young boys at 20, 21, and they're playing quick one-touch football, we need legs. We need players with energy. As much as Stephen Davis is a good player, for me, Wednesday night, I don't see Stephen Davis in the team. We need legs, runners, people that are going to track players and stuff when we're up against it. And we will be at times. But I still believe we can go there on Wednesday and we'll score and we'll win. But if we score one or two, I still think we'll go through. But just think we need legs and we need mobility. But I just think James Sands, people have judged him and everything else, but I'd say judge him when he actually plays his position. And at the moment, he's not had that chance. And we had other players in the positions, but I believe that until he got a chance in there, you can't really judge him. You're only judging him as a utility player playing in two positions. But he's done well. I agree, he done well on Tuesday night, Jaffa, against De Jong.
He did. I think we've been joined by Albert. Albert, good evening. How are you?
Oh, bad, guys. How are you?
Very well. Very
good,
well.
Albert.
Very good, Albert.
Were you on to moan?
Aye, of course I'm on to moan.
That's
what I'm paid to do. Just regarding our defence. Our defence is garbage, mate. We all know it. It's just crap. It's a shambles. Total and utter shambles, mate. But the solution's in the club. You've got to remember that. There's a problem we've got. We get rid of... McGregor's on the bench. Alvin's away and Bassey's away. So we get rid of three quality players out the team, and we brought in a reserve goalkeeper, a reserve centre half, and a reserve left back. That's what we're playing with at the moment. So the solution is the defence should be McGregor / new goalkeeper, Tavernier, Suter, Helander, and Davis. That's what defence. That sorts out the height in the defence. We'll name our people winning balls in the middle of our defence. We can clear balls. The problem we've got, we can't get 3 of them fit. Now that's down to Wilson. Bringing players in it's no fit, and bringing players in that have got history of injury. That's down to him. That's nothing to do with Van Bronckhorst or anything like that. But if you can get them fit and keep them fit, that is your defence. Big Soapy Head needs dropped by the way because he's playing utter garbage at the moment. As for Sands he's going to be one of his victims, his own versatility. I've said it before about that boy. He's got something, but he needs to pick a position. He needs to get his agent to get him a team, to pick the position and say, that's what I want to play, see if he can get me. Say to Rangers, you ever going to play me in a position and can I have any chance of tying that position down? If the answer is no, he needs to go somewhere where they can play the position. That's moving them all over the park nonsense. It's no good for the boy. I think his agent should be telling him that as well. It's no good for the boy. He's not going to get a decent career out if he starts doing all that. And they're talking about £4.5 million. He's never a £4.5 million player. Nowhere near. He's at best maybe £1 million, £1.5 million. At best, he's nowhere near £4.5 million.
Aye, Ballbear, but you're judging him on what you've seen him playing out of position, basically left side of defence, and played back at Annan.
But he's playing in there because of necessity. But put it this way,
he plays midfield for America.
I don't know. But put it this way: if all our midfielders are fit, all fit and ready to go, is he going to be picked to play centre midfield? No, he's not.
But I know I've been ready to go. That's the problem. We've not got a midfield that's been ready to go. He's chopped and changed it. I'm just saying. No. See, when Davis supposedly gets fit, Albert, and he's meant to be your left-sided defender, right? And we can because Gold's not play right, but there's no doubt he's going to play Tav, and it'll be between Borna and Yilmaz, right? And that young boy.
No.
Yilmaz and Borna will need to fight out that position.
Wait a minute. Yilmaz needs built up. He's too lightweight. I'm not saying the boy's a bad player or anything like that at all, but the boy needs built up. Right. Davis is going to play left back. Trust me, Davis will play left back. And you'll get Helander when he's fit and Suter into that team. Well, the reason Golson's playing at the moment, I'll be honest with you, Van Bronckhorst is going to be brutal with him. The only place he's playing at the moment is because there's nobody else to put in there at the moment. But he shouldn't be playing. His calibre of play at the moment is garbage. For him, it's garbage. He proved that he can do it better, play better than that. But what he's doing now is nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. In the league, we're going away with it. Nobody's scoring against us in the league. That's fine. And we'll get great results. 3 great results so far in the league. That's brilliant. But in Europe, we've had one bad result, the away game to that USG. One great result, the home victory. And a not bad result with 2 each with PSV. But the defence is not going to hold up, guys. It's just that. If we keep playing with that defence, it ain't going to hold up. No chance. We need to get them sorted. We need to get it sorted now. I think personally that Golson will leave either January or summer next year. I think he will go. But he messed us about that much now. He's buggered up our transfer policy. I mean, we didn't know is he staying, is he gone, are we going to cover in, are we not getting covered in, what are we doing here? And then he decides at the last minute, is it what I see, is I already outsigned? And you're saying, well, wait a minute, we're signing players here on the thing on the basis that we thought you were gone. But no, you didn't. You don't go. So, to me, he buggered us up a bit. But don't, Honours game, no, as far as I'm concerned, if we unleash on that Hibs, we'll tear them a new one. There's no doubt about it. We will tear them a new one because we have got the makings of a really good team here. They've got the makings. It's just need to get the defence sorted out. But that team, trust me, if once they get the defence sorted, it's going to be something delicious. This team, really, really good to watch, and they will win trophies. I know Big Alex saying we need to win trophies. This team, once the defence is sorted out, will win trophies, no doubt about it. So I'm quite excited about it tomorrow. The Morelos game, but I'm quite excited to see. I think we're going to be in for a decent season this season.
Albert, I think the problem is getting Helander fit. I mean, I love Big Phil, but it's getting him fit seems to be the issue. To the level that we need. I mean, How far
That's what I'm saying, Jaffa. But that's what I'm saying, Jaffa. That's down to Wolves. That's not down to Van Bronckhorst. Why do we keep signing players that the history of long-term injury, like Roof, Helander, Suter? All these players, Davis, is he getting injured, or is Sands keeping him out of the team? And you're saying, well, if Sands keeping him out of the team, you're a £4 million player. If Sands is keeping you out of the team, that's why I'm looking at it. Now, they're saying he's injured, but you never get tell anything about these players. I mean, for example, I know I'm going to have subject a wee bit, but what's up with Roof? You never hear what's up with this guy. Oh, he's injured. What kind of injury is he with? Oh, we don't really know. The Rangers support never get tell anything. We don't get tell transfer fees. We don't get tell. We're mushrooms kept in the dark and manured upon. It's ridiculous, guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. We should know what's happening with our players and our squad. We don't. But again, Donny Wilson, he shouldn't be signing players that are no robust enough to play for Rangers, because we get it heavy. Bob Jer said it when he came on earlier on. We get it heavy, mate. There's no doubt about it. In every game, no some games, every game, we get it heavy. And we've got to have the players that can stand up to this. And the majority of the players will go, I think, do stand up to it.
Paul Bear, I believe Balogun was in the crowd on Tuesday night at Ibrox. What's your thoughts on him? Would you have him back?
You can't. That'd be losing faces. It were. I mean, it was silly to let him go. Don't get me wrong. He was worth another. If Arfield and Davis and McGregor are worth another year, he was certainly well. I mean, don't get me. Davis and Arfield have contributed this season already, so the decision to keep them was right. I think Balogun would have gave you a turn as well. I just don't understand that one at all. Don't understand the one about Katic either. It doesn't make sense. Simpson understand. It's no good for Rangers, but Katic, they're struggling in the air, and this guy can win the ball in the air, but we're not going to play him because we've already said we're going to get rid of him. I don't know if he's away already. I don't know if he's away already because we don't get tell anything.
Katic?
Aye.
I'm not aware. I'm not, like you said, I've not seen anything official from the club.
But Balogun. Sorry, guys.
Bridgman, would you have? Did you know that Balogun was in the crowd on Tuesday night as a spectator? He's still like Glasgow.
It was a European game as well. The last European game. So he's been at Ibrox a few times in the crowd. And I certainly stood up and I said that as far as I was concerned, if we're going to keep Davis and what's his name, Arfield, I would be quite happy if Balogun had stayed. It's only going to, I don't know what money would be on, but could have give him a half it or 50% or whatever they would do, but he would have stayed. The boy would have stayed. I think he wanted to stay, at least for that season. But obviously we haven't done it, and looks as if we've lost Katic in some dark hole somewhere because nobody's seen him. So I don't know whether he's back home, trying to play for a local team or something like that. I've got no idea. But we know we're not stupid. Balogun's sitting in the crowd. Somebody notices him, and the thing is, if it was, I think it was at the Kilmarnock game as well. That's what it was. Could have heard McInnes saying he's trying to get him. Worse to that effect, So it may be a wee joke there, but that he was there, and that's what I heard. I heard he's been at the games, and I think it was possibly a wee mistake that we made by not getting him. Look, he's sitting in the crowd. He's no sign for anyone, so it might be worth a punt to eat him with pie.
Yeah. See that game on Wednesday? I've just got a quick one. I know you're finishing up, but this game on Wednesday, this PSV, a good team. I heard the Southside saying that. He's right, a good team. They're not unbeatable. I don't think anybody thinks they're unbeatable, and I think they're pretty arrogant. I think they think. I mean, I was away on holiday and I was amongst a crowd of them. Well, they got it for me anyway because I'm not putting up with all this. They're convinced the game's done. They are convinced, totally and utterly convinced this game's done. And I'm saying, well, you don't know Glasgow Rangers because we don't go over there to be whipping boys to anybody. I says, but you better get your steel helmets on because we're coming with a battle fever on. We will give you a game. Make no mistake about it. We will come and give you a game. And they're too arrogant to me. They all just think, oh, they're through. To me, they're not through. They're no unbeatable guys. These teams this team, PSV, is beatable, very beatable, because they're wide open at the back. And if we can get at them, and I think we should get at them, I think we'll go through. I think we'll get a great chance against Rue, guys. No a 50-50. I think we've got a great chance against Rue.
Complacency is never a good thing to have in professional football. So if they're complacent, great. I think that'll augur well for us, Albert.
I'm not young with you, mate.
The Balogun. Sorry, Albert.
Balogun, he's gone. You know, he's gone. We're playing 3 games a week. Balogun wasn't in positions to play 3 games a week and then add it on. And I agree, but Albert, I respect a lot of what you say, pal. No, but Hollander, we don't know when he's going to come back, to be honest. Suter, if you're trying to say that we'll play with A2 and Davis and that, I mean, I'll be honest, looking at their injury list at the moment and the previous, I don't know if they could string 10 games together, you know. As much as I think Hollander will probably go in time. I don't know if he'll ever come back, in my opinion, Albert. But I think Davis is the one. I think it's getting him match fit. I think there'll be a wee run of games after these next 2 games where he'll get more game time, and you might see Yilmaz get some game time. We've got a home game and a cup game. Probably see Alfie get game time as well. So I think that's when they'll get these 2 fixtures, the Mora against Hibs and PSV, is probably going to come too early for them, I think. I think Sands will probably play in the next week, but we need to deal with Hibs tomorrow, Jaffa, and that's what it's about, getting 3 points tomorrow against the Hibs, and then we'll look towards Tuesday.
Oh, here. I mean, it's the games come thick and fast. That's sometimes the issue, is just keeping the focus and the concentration, and it probably is difficult for Gio to do that as well. So tomorrow we've got a pre-show at 11:30, guys. Rangers Radio is back on at 11:30 tomorrow with Port and GB, and there'll be an after show as well after the match, 15 minutes afterwards. So I'd like to thank yourself, Southside and Bridge, for tonight. Thanks for looking after me. It's been a great debate. Great to catch up about all things Rangers, as always. And let's hope we get a victory tomorrow. Let's hope the Rangers, turn the style on and give us a right good victory tomorrow and bang some goals in. Albert, what's your thoughts tomorrow? What's your prediction?
If we unleash on them, I think 2-3, maybe. If we unleash on them, I think we'll tear them a new one, honestly. If they're going to attack us the way they say they're going to attack us, and we unleash on them, maybe I don't see any problem whatsoever.
Perfect. I'll take 3-0 all day long. Southside, thanks for your co-host from tonight. I appreciate you coming on and helping me out in my first Rangers Radio show. I appreciate it.
Mate, thanks very much. Delighted to be with yourself and the legend, the Bridgeman. It's been a good show, pal. Plenty of talking points. Looking forward to the victory tomorrow for the mighty Rangers, and then roll on to Wednesday, pal. And let's get another victory on Wednesday. So thanks very much, pal, for having us on.
No worries. Bridgeman, the last word is over to you, and be careful with that erotic foot spinner.
Too late, he's plugged in, isn't it?
Bridge.
We are the Rangers FC. We are the people, you better believe. We are together, we're doing the fancy all over the world. We had our troubles, but now they are gone. They tried to kill us, but the Bears we stood strong. We are together, doing the fancy all over the world. Lucia Vibrox for lights of the three. The follow, and God save the Queen. You'll hear us singing, doing the fancy all over the world. In Barcelona in 72, we beat the Russians by 3-2. Still celebrating, doing the fancy all over the world. Rangers, we're back where we belong. Blue sea of Ibrox, and we're still going strong. We wear our colours, the red, white and blue. We wear them proudly like blue noses do. We are together doing the bouncy all over the world. The pride of Scotland, but that's nothing new. The pride of Glasgow, and Glasgow is blue. We are together doing the bouncy all over the world. To be a blue nose, it fills us with pride. We are united, we'll never divide. We are together doing the bouncy all over the world. Doing the bouncy all over the world. Doing the bouncy all over the world.